Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today with a real tough subject and a lot of backup to support this. But are we headed for another Great Depression? And I am in Naples. You guys liked Alameda's Bay. Hey, you should have gone to Naples. So I like how people get excited about certain things they've seen. But this is that area where the trees have grown up on the side of the bridge. It's kind of cool. But there are a lot of similarities to our economy to that of the 1920s. Now, you know, our economy was an industrial economy back in the day, and you didn't have the online presence, clearly, and you didn't have the, the service economy that we have now. So are we headed towards this depression? And a lot of things point to it. And before I forget, please comment to the video, like the video, and today we have a sponsor, the Satellite Phone Store, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. But I want you to think about this, and I'm just going to give you some highlights of this, and that is, you know, the recent energy consumption is off. There are things about the habits of people's sentiment where people thought they were good, and then it kind of drifted off in the 20s. And the problem that we had was you've got, growth slowing down in the economy. You have a lack of energy. One thing that you can see with the manufacturing, anytime anybody tells me, well, manufacturing is great where I live, well, where do you live? Tell me where you live. And what I like to do is, look at the current energy consumption for manufacturing and send that to them that it's off 8.6% or something like that. So that's what's happening globally right now. In that water usage, energy consumption, the communities themselves are having real difficult around all these different places. By the way, this is Naples. This is that area that's got the canals and got the houses on both sides of it. It's just very cool. A nice place to live. Plus, you know what's weird? For a beach community, this is like really reasonable to live, which I just think, it's not bad. I mean, kind of a private oasis and away from everything, but like everything else in California, it's getting destroyed. So, the interest rates starting to drop are a real problem. You're seeing everything when it comes to business suffer, and it doesn't matter which industry it is, unless it's the negative. And you're going to have businesses like repo businesses, foreclosure businesses, eviction businesses, divorce attorneys, things like that are going to do well. It's just going to happen. But as far as, the number of restaurants that are going out of business is crazy. McDonald's just announced a brand new, double hamburger that's going to get sold in Canada first. And it's like, who wants to buy a $13 hamburger from McDonald's? Seriously. It doesn't interest me at all. So let me know what you think about that. But the other thing, and this is kind of a two-parted part of this, and you can read the story below about are we headed towards a depression. I just think that people don't understand the layoffs that are coming. The big problem right now is that inflation is still going strong right now. It is not slowing down. Chairman Powell can sit there and tell us how great it is and that we've got this under control, and they don't. 2.9% is not under control, guys. It's not the 2%. Now, maybe they get rid of the 2% model and go to 3%, whatever, but it's just showing you the problem. Look at all this construction there, basically remodeling that house, turn it in to where it's brand new. Then you get people here on the paddle boards that are out and about. It's really glassy, really nice. And then the small canoes, kayaks and stuff like that. But just a fun place to hang out. So the other thing that's a real problem, and we see this more in Southern California than I do in other areas, and in that more and more people right now are living in their cars. Do you know that you can basically sleep in a Walmart parking lot at night? They don't give you a hard time. People go there and park their cars and live there. We have more people living in their cars right now. Millions of people right now living in their cars right now. That is unbelievable when you think about these numbers. That just shows you the state of the economy. We're being lied to and told how great everything is, and that things are turning around, and they're not. They're just not. So more and more people living in their cars. California just passed a law where they have to clean up the homeless encampments, and they're starting to kick people out from living on the sidewalks and camping outside, and certain cities are just getting rid of this. Now, this has created a real issue because there is something, and this originated in Australia, and it's called the working poor. Australian rents 2 years ago went through the roof to where you had people that were making $50,000, $60,000 a year that couldn't afford to rent in the same cities that they lived in. So they got gym memberships and slept in their cars, the working poor. And that's where that originated from. And it was crazy. I had people in Australia, and by the way, you pay Australia rent, you base it on a weekly rate, which makes you pay more when you go, this unit is so much a week. And people were telling me that their weekly rental rates had basically doubled during this time. Absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. But you have all these people that are going out and they are renting, they cannot rent, and they are living in their cars right now. So here's another one of those bridges, but this one's all decorated with the kind of an exotic foliage. So we're seeing more and more of that right now. And the other thing is that RV sales are absolutely collapsing right now. Lazy Days is one of the largest RV dealerships in the country, with 14 locations across the country. And they are advertising RVs right now for 55% off. So if you want to buy an RV, get a hell of a deal right now. It's just crazy. And what happened with COVID was that people started buying RVs as a way to, you know, travel, do something different. My girlfriend bought a converted RV, saw it on Shark Tank, and these two surfers developed a company that went out and would convert vans into livable space. And she bought one, and it was something that was very cool because during COVID, we could go and pick up stuff from a restaurant and sit in the car. And with her illness, it was just great. But those vans right now are next to nothing. They're basically free, 55% off. Now understand this, if you go and you buy one of these things at 55% off, you're not going to be able to sell that thing to anybody. And that's gonna be it. You're gonna be stuck with it, to say the least. So I want you guys just to see this, it's just nice. So everything is on sale right now. Every large asset, planes, industrial equipment, tractors, backhoes, things like that, you know, they're all on sale right now. Boats, motorcycles, especially Harleys, as they're giving those away because that CEO shot himself in the foot. All this stuff is on sale. Now, if you want to buy something like this and you're not a good negotiator, think of somebody in your family. Think of a friend. Oh, who's a good grinder? Who's a guy who could get us a good deal? Talk to your relatives. Talk to family members. Because I tell people, you know, because I have people that write me and say, hey, you know, we're in Idaho. What would you suggest? And I can only do so much via email and even a phone call sometimes. But if you know of somebody that can go negotiate this and you're going to go buy one of these RVs, you get a buddy and say, listen, we'll buy you dinner. You know what the RV costs, and if this guy could save you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, what's that worth to do? Try it. I always recommend this with people. And my son does this every now and then. Hey, can you call this guy for me and see if you can work something out? And he's done that a few times with me. And it's easier when it's your kid over, you know, somebody else. And sometimes you can do this over the phone. But do you know what I'm talking about? Look at all this stuff, but don't kid yourself. Don't sit there and say, oh, the economy is great right now. Everything's good. We're all making money. Businesses are shuttering left and right. You're seeing restaurants go out of business like never before. And prices are through the roof on everything. You've got to cut back. You've got to get yourself out of debt. You've got to get yourself to a point that you don't need to work as hard just to cover your nut. The United States of America is doomed. It's going to be depressionary because you're going to have the debt that cannot be serviced. We need leaders that understand that. We need leaders that are not just going to give it away to everybody else, because, you know, why be an American citizen? Seriously, why not denounce your citizenship and become a citizen of another land and go get $150,000 for free? Anyways, I could go on for an hour about this. But let me know what you think about this so far. Do you think we're heading towards a depression? I think we're in one. I think we are in much deeper than a recession right now. But let me know what you think and share it with all of us in the comments below, or email me at hello@iallegedly.com. Let's talk about our sponsor, the Satellite Phone Store. You know, we talk a lot about prepping and getting yourself ready. But one thing that you have to do is you have to make sure that you can communicate with your loved ones, family members during time of crisis. The Satellite Phone Store is absolutely amazing. I love my satellite phone. If you go to danssatphone.com, you can go to the Satellite Phone Store and they will hook you up with all different types of satellite phones, GPS products that are very inexpensive. Some products are even free. You just pay a monthly fee, you get rollover minutes if you don't use the phone, so it just sits there. But in the time of crisis, you're going to be very happy that you have this. My entire family has a satellite phone right now, so we can communicate with everybody. And as I'm out walking about, all I have to have is open sky, and I can make a phone call to anywhere. I can call any cell phone, I can call any landline, they can call me. It has voicemail, it can text. Absolutely amazing, incredibly inexpensive. But take a look at the Satellite Phone Store today. Go to danssatphone.com. You're only prepped so far if you don't have a way of communicating when things go dark. Remember that. You know, we dabbled a little bit in restaurants closing, but this is getting to be like really noticeable. KFC, 23 locations in 3 states, Indiana and Illinois, done, closing. Shake Shack is closing 9 underperforming stores in Washington, California, and Oregon. Okay, well, doesn't people like hamburgers? You know, not like a $25 combo meal? That's what was it when I went to Shake Shack last time? It was like $24 to have burger, fries, and a Coke. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, the other thing that we talked about last week was Subway. You know, Subway's playing games. If you buy through the app, you can get up to 50% off. But there's a woman that owned 23 locations, and she was the victim of bank fraud. And somebody had stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from her accounts. And Subway was not interested in helping her. The bank was not interested in helping her. This was fraud. We don't have to help you with fraud. And I'm like, wait a second. What do they help you with then? If somebody stole my credit card and used my credit card, they would help me with this. But this woman's losing the locations, and over 100 people lost their job. Now, she wanted it made clear, because I thought the same thing you thought, and that was this woman just didn't know how to run a business, and that wasn't the case. So this poor woman loses absolutely everything. And Subway is now telling her, if you don't pay us our money, we're going to seize the locations and have another operator in there. So there are Subway operators that are dying to own a Subway and work 24/7. Good for you, lucky guys. And they're going to take over this woman's locations individually. Is that horrible? That's just awful. Now, one thing, I'm going to get Jack back from Patriot Gold, just because you guys keep asking gold questions. And what country has purchased the most amount of silver in the second quarter, which ended, you know, at the end of June? Who purchased the most amount of gold for their central bank? Poland. 17 tons, guys. 17 tons. 17 times 2,000 pounds. 34,000 pounds of gold. Isn't that crazy? So gold is going to go through the roof, but I want to talk to Jack and have him explain to us what he thinks about all this. So let me know, guys. You know, plus send your questions into Jack, because let's get him on the show in the next few days. Now, the economy is great and everything's perfect, but a few weeks back we talked about Warren Buffett selling a little bit of Apple stock and a little bit of Bank of America. Well, he is still in the terror of selling his B of A stock. On Monday, it was announced that he sold another $982 million worth of that stock. What's he know about B of A? What's he know about B of A? Well, he's getting out of B of A. Now to the tune of $6.5 billion. Hello, that's a lot. Do you think that municipalities and cities and states should have their own crypto coins? The state of Wyoming wants to have its own cryptocurrency. So you can trade in the crypto, you can buy government services, you can, pay for your water bill, things like that, pay your taxes with its crypto coin. What do you think about that? Okay, you're not allowed to do this. Constitution says that states can't develop their own money. And is it money or is it not money? So I think it's money. So there's that. Now, one thing that's funny is there are delis, Langer's Deli, for example, that have just been iconic. And here in Southern California, the owner of Langer's Deli says, we have to move. We have to close this place because of crime. So he had a sit-down meeting yesterday with Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. And again, nothing will come of this. This was a show meeting. This poor guy that owns this place, you can read the story below, I forgot his name. And the Langer family that started this thing, this is where you get the corned beef sandwiches that are, a foot high and they're just beautiful. But the problem with it is you got junkies out in front of your place, people camping out, people robbing people, and the city doesn't do anything. And then when they arrest these people, the people get upset with the shop owners when they get arrested and blame them and come back and give retribution. That sounds good. Instead of being people going to jail for an extended period of time. No. We won't be having any of that. So let me know what you think about that. The other thing is the HOA problems are getting worse. And you're starting to see communities like Florida, think about this, where they're getting charged double and triple on their homeowners insurance. The HOA fees are going up, double and triple. They're hitting people with assessments of hundreds of thousands of dollars. We've talked about this. Now, the problem with this is it's getting crazy. I had one man write me and tell me that, hey, I'm one of the lucky ones that paid my house off. My homeowner's insurance, Dan, went to $90,000 a year. 90 G a year. So we're gonna go and raw dog it and go blind without insurance. And they can do it because they don't have a mortgage. But house gets burnt down, they're done. They have a dog, the dog bites me, and I sue them, they're done. So that or it's $90,000 a year. How do you afford $90,000 a year for homeowner's insurance? Now, if you have a mortgage, like my mortgage buddy said, we're gonna make sure you have mortgage insurance. You got it. And my foreclosure buddy, Doug, he's foreclosed on people's houses before because they didn't have homeowner's insurance. There was one house, the woman owed $9,000. Yeah, they sent out an inspector and said the house was dilapidated. The house, I'm telling you, Doug and I could have pushed the house over. It was such a piece of crap. But they needed to get insurance or else. So it was just that simple. So you're going to see more of this, guys. That's what's coming down the road. So hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me know. And just a few more things. I want to remind everybody that we have an uncensored channel that you can join where we can talk about the things that we can't talk about here. And a woman wrote me and said, you talk about everything here. No, there's some things we just can't talk about here. So if you go to iAllegedly.tv, you can check it out today. And so many of you have signed up for it, and it's exciting, but it's the stuff that we take one step further from here. Now, United Airlines, they have called for a strike, the first time since 2005, for their flight attendants. We just talked about how their flight attendants are not making money and they're sick of it. Air travel is such a joke lately. I remember as a kid just what a great experience it was. It was fun. And, you know, people would get dressed up to go travel back in the 50s and 60s, and then it just became a cattle car situation. And I hate that, man. I hate that it's the way it is. And to find out that flight attendants are only making $23,000 a year, that's nuts, guys. That is absolutely nuts. So, final story of this video. Scale AI is an annotation service that's done online to put together records and things like that. They just laid off 1,300 employees and did it in a very classy way, via email. Bye, have a nice day. No, no discussion, no response, no video chat, nothing. Goodbye, have a nice day. You guys are done. Oh, it's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse, it's getting worse. So please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you have been subscribed for years, I've had people say, hey, we've been unsubscribed. Always subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed to your favorite YouTube channels, me and everybody else. And if you see comments that are definitely shenanigans, I don't talk about crypto, I don't talk about, you know, the Amazon H1, whatever, you know, go out and report those people for all of us. Do it for all your favorite YouTubers. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. And always love coming out to this place. So thank you for the recommendation.